A dark and stormy night. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell. What are you looking at?
Well, this is nothing to joke around about, Joe D. This has been major flooding, and if we could jump over to the other shot, we just have some of these. Yeah, I wanted to show you this. This is where some of the heaviest rain has fallen. You know, it was in Carlisle late this afternoon, and we saw not only the flooding but wind damage. But since then, it's been Lebanon and Lancaster County. So where you see that greenish and some of that yellow colors there, this is what we call the radar estimated rainfall. So what the radar thinks is falling. But look at that number there, Joel D. 5 inches of rain. No matter how good your drainage system is on your road or your house, you cannot keep up with that. We're seeing rainfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour, and that's causing a lot of flooding. So it was Carlisle about 3 hours ago, but since then, it's been a lot of Palmyra and then into Manheim and northern Lancaster counties. So we're getting reports of roads washed out, some trees down, obviously, but the flooding continues to be the biggest threat. So the flash flood threat, the warning itself continues till after midnight tonight. But Jolie, now that it's dark, I'm concerned about tree limbs that are down. People are not going to see this. You don't know what you're driving into. You think, oh, it's just a little bit of water. Next thing you know, your whole wheel's underwater. So we always say turn around, don't drown. But the other heads up, as long as we're talking, let's go back to the other graphic. We're going to do this thing once again tomorrow. So this is the setup for Tuesday afternoon. Same deal. And what the atmosphere is, Jody, is just primed. So think of a sponge that you're going to wring out. It's got so much juice. So we've got plenty of fuel to do this again tomorrow. I think it's going to be setting up a little further east as far as the nasty weather. When I say east, Lancaster County and eastward, Chester County. I think it's going to end up really being an I-95 situation. So tomorrow is a CBS 21 weather warned day. So pretty active tonight, Joel D.
Yeah, we were seeing some people put in some of their notes on what they've seen tonight. It's just too much from one area to handle, and it's going to be roads being washed out. It's going to be all kinds of stuff. And like you said, some of the stuff we won't be able to see until the morning. And so I would say we're in that situation right now. But we always talk about during snow conditions. If you don't have to go out, don't do it, because you just don't know if you're going to be facing this. And at night, you can't see what you can see. We always say turn around, don't drown. Okay, we know that. But sometimes it's safer than others because you can literally see the car in front of you go through. You see where you're at, still not advisable, but you have at least a frame of reference because you can see. If you can't see anything, you have no idea if not only how deep it is, but that road could be washed out. Next thing you're out with it and you're gone.
We're just getting videos of that, Jill D, where roads are literally washed out. Isaac is running through some of the pictures we've gotten, but now videos coming in where roads are washed away, and it may be a side road or a back road, but if you're not ready for it, that can cause big problems. So again, that's through the Palmyra area. Now we're getting reports into Lancaster itself. So especially Lancaster and Lebanon counties, as we head into tomorrow, I think you're going to see a lot of this damage. The other thing that happens is even though the rain ends, you get the residual flooding, and that continues to be a problem. The other thing I'm thinking about tonight, Joel D, and I was going to bring this up on our newscast, sinkholes. So after you get a lot of water like this, it has to go somewhere, and it ends up creating sinkholes in weakened areas. And we know we have that problem already throughout Palmyra, and a lot of this is falling in Palmyra. So guess what we're going to see over the next week? Sinkholes.
Do we have that video of that river rescue? I know we're going to have it in the news.
That was crazy too. Yeah, that was the Susquehanna.
Yeah, I don't know if we have that because that was another piece of this.
Right here.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Now, this guy doesn't want to come in. So what he's doing is he's putting first responders in danger. Crazy.
They'll be busy tonight as well. So we wish them the best that, they're going to have an easier night than not. And that's where I say, if you have an option tonight, some people got to get to work. Some people got to go places and, do things. But if there's an option for you, take tonight off, do it tomorrow morning when you can see what's going on out there and just how bad it is. And yes, we're not talking about every single spot, but you've highlighted the bad places where it could really be nasty.
But think about it. Smaller towns like Carlisle and Palmyra, they only have so many individuals to help out as far as public service and whatnot. They are taxed to the max tonight and tomorrow and probably the next couple of days. So you're making a good point. If you can avoid putting yourself in danger, you're helping them out too.
Well, the other thing is this. So, I'm going home tonight. So I know, near my neighborhood. Okay, where do I have the creek running through? I
Right.
can
Good
go
thing.
the other way. I can go the other way and skip
Good.
that.
Think
If there's
ahead.
a different way to get where you need to go, think about that for a second.
Right.
Be like, okay, I can stay on the high side of ground. I don't need to go there.
That's a really good point.
Strategy.
Yep. Yeah. Think ahead. And that goes overnight tomorrow morning before, like you said, before daylight, before we see where things are really, really a problem. I think a lot of stuff is going to be revealed with first light tomorrow. So, yeah, we got to be really careful tonight. And I got to tell you, I keep checking the radar thinking things are going to die down. It keeps coming. So we're adding insult to injury. Joel D, I showed you that graphic. 5 inches of rain in a lot of these areas. That's a big problem. That's
when will we be done with it?
I keep looking to checking the radar, and every time I peek at it, it just keeps coming. The atmosphere is so juicy that, yeah, like look, there's more in Chambersburg. That stuff that I thought usually what happens is the storm comes through, calms everything down. Right now, we've got another wave coming through Franklin County that's just blowing up. So what it's doing is it's literally feeding off of that atmospheric moisture tonight. So to answer your question, it's going to be a couple of hours still. Now, it's not the heavy, steady rain that we were seeing, but anything on top of the flooded areas is a problem tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for getting us up to date on that. And unfortunately, you said maybe one more day of this stuff too.
Yeah, we're going to do it again tomorrow. Right, exactly.
All right, folks, send in those pictures if you're safe, if you saw something interesting, or if you just want to commiserate. A lot of us are going through the same stuff. There's some flooding in my house tonight. It's minor so far, but we're all kind of dealing with some stuff right now.
Yeah, so help each other out, right?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Everybody, thanks for watching 21 Next. And, hey, share this with somebody else. Let them know the situation. Be as safe as you can. Like I said, it's almost like a winter weather situation. If you don't need to go out, don't, because you might be on a road that you're so used to that you can almost just ride it in your sleep and just go. It may not be the same scenario that you're used to, and you might not be able to see it. Tyler says it's still coming down in Lebanon. A lot of people trying to drive through flooded roads, and that's the danger. It might be a normal road that you can get through and you can see it, but you can't see it tonight, and it might not even be there anymore, and you can put yourself in trouble, in danger, or maybe at the very least, your vehicle could really be messed up. We know that's expensive nowadays. That's our warnings. Do your best, and we hope everybody's safe tonight. We'll see you next time.